What do you feel like, or how do you feel like DC supports its local artists, like the music scene?
Man, it's good. You know what I mean? Like after I was on the open mic scene, and like I said, I met Juju outside the club. I was promoting with Mad Power Unit, Tupac D, Dominique Moxie, Mad Power Unit. We had K Street Lounge. We had the Avenue on New York and 7th Street. We had parties around the city. So I was working with Wale in the morning and throwing parties at night. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homie Kavan. He put me on. But like uh the city has changed because the nightlife ain't really like the same. Like we don't got like that dream and love type of vibe around no more. But like um I started throwing my own open mics to keep up like the tradition of like the true school open mics um that I came out of that made me who I am as an artist. And when I started doing that, like the line was down the block around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that every night, but it was like the serious people kept coming back. You know what I'm saying? And some of the serious people was Fat Trel, Phil Day, Black Hole Maine. You know what I'm saying? Like um, a lot of artists, man. You know what I'm saying? That like popped off and took their own form and became legends. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of kept the torch going. Fat Trel, I was getting him in the club at 16. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even supposed to be in the club. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's where he perfected the art of performing. You know what I'm saying? You can perfect rapping, but when you can perfect performing and somebody can see you like play your instrument, you know what I'm saying? We want to see you live, play your instrument. As a performer, man, Fat Trel back then was like something that we never. He was the guy. He was the one. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Do do you feel like having a amazing stage presence is better than maybe having, nice records? Or do you feel like it's kind of
Both. Both. You gotta have nice records and good stage presence. You know, Jay-Z was scared to come out after DMX. You know what I'm saying? Because of his stage presence. And then behind DMX stage presence, he had them lyrics that hit home. It wasn't like just materialistic. Everybody can relate to material, but everybody can relate to something that's heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? So like when writers write about what's heartfelt and like the resistance of oppression. You know what I'm saying? That Bob Marley wrote about, that Michael Jackson wrote about, that Marvin Gaye wrote about. This is why they are who they are. And this is why they are like the greatest. And Tupac, when he wrote about oppression with like certain records like White Man's World and uh, 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 Dear Mama even, and Brenda's Got a Baby. All those records was like about some sort of oppression, economic oppression, systematic oppression, racism. You know what I mean? Like when we write about those subjects, that's what that's how our music resonates worldwide. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
what do you feel like it would take for DC to be like recognized as one of those music capitals
Mm.
like New York or Atlanta?
Um, I've accepted the fact that that may not never happen, and I'm okay with that because me personally, I like being exclusive, and I like if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? We influence hip hop, and sometimes it's like um, when you think about DC, right, and you think about going to the Go Go, and you think about the language that we got as being from DC. So for Big G to get on stage and to shout out different neighborhoods, uh, 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 1-7 and 640, hey man, behind a black hole, man, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there is a whole nother language that only we gonna know behind the black hole. Or that's where 640 is. Behind where's the black hole? Or that's where they may be playing at, or where we used to play at, where the go-go used to be at on George Avenue. You know what I'm saying? 1-7 the rock and all that, and like just different neighborhoods. Like on that resonates with us. You know what I'm saying? 14 fan, 14 fan, like we can finish his sentences. You know what I'm saying? Like and he has the only go-go period. Outside of like James Brown had a lot of influence, but musically. But as far as like performing, go-go has the performance elements of like how James Brown used to control a band on stage or produce live. You know what I'm saying? Like Big G and Rapper Dude, they actually like produce live, meaning they telling when the drummer when to come in or when to stop, or they Big G's telling Sauce when to go off on his solo. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, so you know what I'm saying? Like, hold the song. Like that's conducting. You know what I'm saying? Musical conducting, but production right in front of our faces, and that's what makes going to the go-go so. Um, that's why people go to the go-go every single week, is because of that artistic element right there, being able to produce live. And it's not like hip hop where it's like everything is machine driven and everything is in a machine, and people was up there pressing buttons that they done sampled from, recordings of people that are masters of their instrument. You feel what I'm saying? No, these are masters of their instrument. A person can talk with his instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like the bass player for Backyard, and the bass guy, he making talk with his fingers on the instrument. Sauce can talk on them congos. Smoke, you know what I mean? He can really literally talk with the congos. To see that live, it's worth going every single week. That's why the go-go bands tour locally every single week. Rap can't do that, you know what I'm saying? And so we wasn't meant to be um we wasn't meant to be a stop sign. We wasn't meant to be on every street corner in America. We meant to be right here, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Being exclusive. You know what I'm saying? You can only get pupusas when you looking for. You can only get jollof rice and cassava leaf when you looking for. Oxtail jerk chicken you know what I'm saying? But when you in that mood for DC, you know where to come to go get it. So we exclusive like that. That's a beautiful thing. Extracting value from our own culture and forming an economy um, while oppression is going on, and being able to survive, with systematic oppression and musically. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing.
Do you
Sure.
think like, because I've heard before people say listening to go-go on record is one thing, but like actually listening to it live in concert is another thing. Do you agree with that?
That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. Yeah, because it's like when you actually see live stage production like that's it's like watching a flower bloom, man. You know what I'm saying? Right in front of your eyes. Musically though, you know what I'm saying? It's like watching a flower being planted and blooming at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful.
So what is upcoming in the future for you musically?
Well, I got so much stuff musically, man. I'm doing it because I love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be relevant. I don't need to. I'm already etched in stone as like one of the best ever. So it's like, if you know about me, you know about me. Cool. If you don't, man, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still do it because I love it, not because I'm chasing relevance or none of that. I don't need none of that. You know what I mean? Everything I need, I already got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm cooling. You know what I mean? But y'all gonna see what come next. It's gonna be big and it's gonna be major. You know what I'm
Lastly, I
saying?
know that you obviously a DC legend and
Yeah.
every. Do you feel like, or how do you feel like you want to be remembered? What type of legacy do you want to leave?
Man, hmm, wow. I want God to remember me when I cross them gates, man. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want God to look at me like I forgot about him while I was trying to be remembered right here on earth. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just, I'm at that point in life where it's like that's more important to me, my faith, and making sure I'm praying to Allah and putting Him first before everything. Because before it was like, the music was engulfed all my time. You know what I'm saying? It's more things to think about. It's more to life uh, than that. You know what I'm saying? What can I get from the world? Now it's like, what can I give with information? Who can I empower and really make better behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm trying to get recognized or be perceived as this and all that. And I made a lot of money doing, just being in the streets, and I made a lot of money being in music. You know what I mean? So a lot of thirst's been quenched. I've been up there with the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't chasing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's like, bro, you're reaching your next quarter. You know what I'm saying? When we in the final quarter, and as we get older, it's like, man, you need to start putting God first. Cause like I said, who remembers what was where in Gaza? Man, that joint got blown up by the so-called oppressors. You know what I'm saying? They blew the whole joint up, man. You know what I'm saying? What if they blow DC up? You know what I'm saying? We not gonna remember as time goes on. We're gonna remember, or we're gonna forget about what was on what street corner, what store was on such and such. Man, I forgot, bro. We're gonna have to be reminded. You know what I mean? It's like, no, remember the important things in life. You know what I'm saying? And stay dead to that. You know what I'm saying? Because we one calamity away from like being gone. You know what I'm saying? Like we living cozy over here. In other parts of the world, man, they whole city got blown up and destroyed, literally. That can happen over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So it's like I just try to appreciate everything, and if I'm remembered, no, I want to be remembered as Manny, man. He prayed. You know what I mean? That's how I want to be remembered. That's a praying guy right there, man. For real, real live.
All right,
For sure.
Uptown XO. Thank you,
Uptown.
man, for pulling up, bro.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
thank you, bro. Thank you for having me, man. For sure.